Everybody's waiting.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching whenever you're watching. I'm so excited for this one. Before I get started, quick thank you to frequent guest and host of the last episode of this, Josh Poirier. Last Thursday hosted the video game version for the second time. That was a lot of fun. I got to play. I didn't do well. I don't know video games. But that was a lot of fun. Mike can attest to that. But that was a lot of fun. If I were you, if you like video games, check that episode out. That was episode 47, because this is 48. We're almost at episode 50. How fun is that?
Yay!
I'm so happy my guests are acting like an audience. I'm so used to silence on the Zooms. I think I should just bring them in. I'm so excited for this group of people. They're all great, and I think they're all going to do great tonight. Joining me on the show tonight are Chris Sherlin, Marty Viscosi, Sami Lanza, and Mike Giordano. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Let me start with returning champion. Mike Giordano is here. Hey, Mike.
Hey, yeah, I'm just riding on the wave of victory right now from Thursday.
Not just from Thursday. Like, you weren't on this for a while, and you have won the last two episodes you've been on.
Yeah, I'm coming back to sweep everything up and take over this show as the champion. That's my new goal in life now, especially since everything else in the world is going so badly.
Yeah, it's almost time for other people to do Zoom shows again. That's fun. I didn't mention before this is the holiday movie edition of the show. And keeping with that spirit, Mike, do you have like any holiday movies you like that aren't any of the like the obvious ones? Do you have like a littler known one that you really enjoy?
There's one that sticks out in my head only because it sounds so weird. It's just there's a cartoon called Blue Toes, the elf. And it's literally a cartoon about an elf that gets stuck on the roof and gets frostbite on his toes.
Oh, no.
And I don't think there's much else that happens. I guess he saves Christmas at some point, but I don't know if he saves his toes.
Wow.
I haven't seen it in a while. Now I'm going to have to find it.
I've never heard of this.
Blue Toes, the Christmas elf. I don't know if it's good. It's just what's stuck in my head.
Oh, I'm going to go to find it after this. Yeah. Also on the show tonight, first-time guest Chris Sherlin is here. Hey, Chris.
Hello, Nick.
Now, I don't know a ton about you. Are you like a big movie watcher person?
A little bit. I watch movies about the same way that a lot of people watch TV in 30-minute intervals, which means I know a lot of the beginnings to movies. Not so much the endings to a lot of them. So we will see. I'm really excited to participate, though.
I'm excited to have you here. And same question to you. Do you have any holiday movies that we might not know?
Can I cop out with a TV special?
Yes, you can.
Vicar of Dibley, Three Christmases. It is a British TV show about the first woman vicar in a parish that was a surprise to. And the classic story of three parishioners wanting to show their love for her to give her lunch, and she agrees to them all and is overfed, and it's a riot.
Brits tend to make good Christmas specials.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I watched that without even knowing what the show was, and I got hooked on the show. So,
well, that's 2 for 2 in things I haven't seen. So I'm just adding to the list. Thank you for being here. Also, returning to the show after so long, I'm so happy she's finally back here. Sami Lanza's here.
Yeah. What up?
Hey, Sami. How are you? It's been so long.
It's been so long. I had like a wedding and a honeymoon, and I saw a play.
What play?
Yep. It was like a Christmas show that my sister-in-law put on. It was really fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why you didn't want to do this YouTube game in the middle of weddings and honeymoons.
I kept trying. I really thought you were going to be done with me because just stuff kept happening. And I would stare at the message screen and be like, I wish I could just die instead of having to tell him again that I can't be on the show.
If it helps, I never get the hint.
Person. Good.
Same question to you that I've asked everybody else.
Okay, so two came to mind. This one, I don't think it's super unknown, but I didn't know it until Steve, my husband, is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Big classic, favorite, always, every year. And then there's like a series on Netflix. It's like Peace, Love, and Robots or Sex and Robots. I forget what it's called.
Death, Love, and Robots.
Death, Love, and Robots. Okay, their Christmas episode is traumatizingly incredible. It's a short. It's like a 10-minute thing. It's incredible, and everyone should go watch it. I wish I remembered what it was called. Thank you.
I've heard so many people mention that show, and I have not watched it yet.
Well, it's one of those. It's like an anthology type thing, so every episode's absolutely different. And the Christmas one is, it's a whirlwind. I won't even show it to like young kids in my family, and I love like pushing those boundaries.
Well, now I'm gonna have to watch that too.
I had a great time.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very upsetting, and I had a great time.
Put it on my gravestone. That quote.
That person that you just heard who had a great time with that, Marty Viscosi returns to the show. Hey, Marty.
Hi.
So happy to have you back. You're always great. Now before the show, you said that. Real quick, Mike has just informed us that Blue Toes is available on YouTube. So don't click away from this video, but put that in the search bar when this is over. But yeah, you were telling me before the show, you were excited for this, but then you realized you don't watch a lot of holiday movies.
Yes, I don't know a lot of holiday movies. I just heard holidays and got really excited. It's like, I love that energy. This is my favorite time of year. Like, I am like, if there is like a exact opposite of a Grinch, like that's about where I fall. All right. Well, then yeah.
Wow. I love that. Well, I loved all of that.
You're going to finish out this round of questions. Do you have anything to recommend?
I had a really long time to think of an answer, and the only one I can think of is one that like I think people have definitely heard of, but I just really like it, and I think it's underappreciated, is the Nickelodeon special, All of the Other Reindeer. Because I really like the concept of an evil mailman.
That's the one with the dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
It's cute. It's worth watching.
That was a book first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. I just got a bunch of stuff to add to my watch list.
Movies to ruin people with?
Exactly. And I can say with confidence, none of those movies will show up tonight.
Good to know.
No Blue Toes?
No Blue Toes.
That's unfortunate.
Thank you all for those. If this is your first time watching this show, here's what's going to happen tonight. I've gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled content warnings for way too many movies. These warnings are written by anonymous weirdos. I still don't know who they are. I've never met one. That's the big goal. I'll go up to 100 episodes of this if I can find somebody who's written any of these. I just have so many questions for you. And also, I'll give you money. You've written 48 episodes of this show. You're entitled to something.
Do you think it's like a group of people who do this?
Yes.
like one specific group of people who return.
One of my favorite things, if you ever go through these, every once in a while there'll be arguments in the sections.
Oh, I love that.
Of just people going back and forth. Hey, there's like kissing in the sex and nudity, and somebody else will add to that comment, but that's not sex and nudity, is it?
Wow. I should do that both for fun and so maybe I'll get a question right someday.
Yeah.
So
I
like
love
I
that.
alluded to before, this is a special themed episode. These are all holiday movies in the very, very loose definition of that word. For the purposes of this show, I'll give you this information. By holiday, we're talking Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. I found something for all of those, so that's good. A lot more for one of them than the other two.
Hanukkah?
Also, like I said, real loose definition of this. By my standards, the only thing required is that there's at least one scene in this movie that takes place on or around one of these holidays.
Oh no.
Oh,
all right.
Did we 11
cool.
minutes.
I
11 minutes. Sami said was going to keep her cool this whole game. I told her 10 minutes. She beat me by 1.
I'm off to a good start then.
So yeah, get ready to get angry at some of these choices. I will say there are like traditional Christmas movies here, traditional holiday movies here. There's just some mess ups here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for this. I'm excited at least for the groans when some of these are revealed.
Oh.
And unless there's anything else anybody wants to add, I think it's time to get started with this game. And to do that, Chris, I'm going to come to you first. Would you like a movie from 1960, 1983, or 2018?
Let's do 83.
Let's do 83. This movie from 1983, first movie of the night for 5 points under the category of sex and nudity. There is a brief sex-related use of turned on.
I just don't even know why I like put the hand thing at the ready. Like
I've missed you so much on this show. Mike has buzzed in though.
Well, yeah, he's a champion.
Mike, do you have a guess for this movie?
Is it A Christmas Story?
Yeah, it sure is A Christmas Story. Yep. Chris, you screwed that up.
Oh, great job.
I know.
So amped. Happy for you.
These are all in a random order, and first movie of the night is Mike's background.
I thought it was a young lady when you introduced him, to be honest.
Yeah,
and it makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I thought it was Anne Murray eating a push pop.
Just for fun, the other clues in A Christmas Story. Under frightening and intense scenes, the dad is portrayed as a bit tough, yelling and cussing nonsense. Frightening and intense scenes, a boy sticks his tongue to a frozen lamppost after being dared to by his friends. They then leave him out of the blizzard as the school bell rings and has just rung, and the fire department has come to pull his tongue. Can be a little unsettling. Marty, do you have a guess?
Is it A Christmas Story?
It is A Christmas Story.
Do I get any points?
No, not a one. Sex and nudity. When the family sees the leg lamp, the boy touches it suggestively. And frightening and intense scenes, a dream sequence features the adults in the child protagonist's life, mocking him and chanting, "You'll shoot your eye out." The boy's teacher is dressed as a witch.
They sell that gun at Walmart for like $26. I almost bought it today for my father-in-law, but he would have killed the squirrels.
He would have shot his eye out.
I don't know, man.
So, Mike, you got 5 points. You're the only one with points. Let's see if we can change
Oh, wow. Yeah, heck us.
that. Marty, would you like a movie from 1970, 1990, or 1995?
I'm gonna go 1995.
1995. All right, 1995 for 5 points. Under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a house party scene shows underage teens consuming alcohol. A man is shown vomiting alcohol into a pool.
I have a thought, but
Yeah.
this show makes me more unconfident than I have ever been, including middle school. Just for the record.
Well, Mike's going to take another guess.
Of course he is.
Are you sure you don't want to try for those 5 points?
Yeah, I'm sure. But if it's what I thought, then I'm gonna smash my phone screen and you're gonna be down a player. No big deal. I love you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Real
I thought you were going to be real chill this episode. Mike, are you about to end Sammy's game?
I don't know. I feel like this might be one of those messy movies, and it might be a reference to something you tweeted earlier. Is this Clueless?
A reference to something I tweeted earlier? What did I tweet
I don't know
earlier?
if you tweeted. Someone tweeted that Clueless was a Christmas movie because there's a scene where a guy is throwing up into a pool and there's Christmas decorations around it. So I'm
There
thinking
sure are. This
Yeah.
movie is Clueless.
Are you shitting me?
Wait, are you
all
serious?
the,
Is
like,
that real?
random
Is that
luck.
serious? Is that serious? Are you serious?
I've been online too long.
It's
past week.
never-
I don't want to talk to you. You're a robot. I'm talking to Nick. Are
All
you serious?
the tweets to have seen on this
Uh-huh.
day of all the specific
I can't believe that tweet
details.
exists. But yeah, it's never
It was
mentioned.
like yesterday I saw this.
It's never mentioned. It's never referenced. But the house party that they're at, full of Christmas lights and decorations. So Clueless is a Christmas movie.
I can't tell if I'm like really amped because that was a good answer. If I'm so mad at you for that being the answer.
The 2 for 2 of 5 points.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
The other
I
clues in
joked and
this.
said I was shooting for 0. I'm actively shooting for 0 now.
we are going to speed through this game if this continues. Other clues in this under violence and gore. A character is tipped down on the balcony of a mall, but gets stopped later. She is saved later. Sex and nudity, occasional mild sexual references, including a scene where the main characters discuss their virginity or lack thereof. Sex and nudity, a brief image is shown of a girl in a bra and undershorts on a virtual clothes selector. In the girl's locker room, behind the protagonist are seen women in bra and panties. And Sex and Nudity, the main character is very stylish and wears a lot of revealing outfits, like microskirts, spandex leotards, etc., but no actual nudity.
I would have got it with that.
Well, Mike, you got 10 points.
I'm so happy to
after
be
2
back.
rounds.
I'm
This
so
was so
happy.
much fun.
Yes, holidays.
Sorry.
And Mike, you get to pick this year. Would you like a movie from 1992, 1995, or 2019?
I want to go with 92.
92. All right. This movie from 1992 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A man smokes a cigarette using a holder.
Wow, that's a very helpful clue, and I appreciate that gift from you, Nick. Thank you. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I'm so calm.
For 4 points, the first time we're getting to a 4-point clue, under sex and nudity, after a woman and a man fight, she sits on top of him and licks his face. Mike, of course, has buzzed in. Anybody else?
Oh no. I don't
No, I'm
think
uncomfortable and I appreciate that warning.
Mike, do you have this answer?
Is it Look Who's Talking Now?
It is not Look Who's Talking Now.
Mm. Oh, what the hell scene is that? I can see this. I can see that scene in my head, and I don't know what it is.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, this is a long one. The entire film can be hard for some to watch due to its very grim nature, which includes unflinching darkness and uncompromising subject matter, an extremely nihilistic and unbelievably bleak storyline, plentiful shock value, scenes of graphic violence and gore, tons of disgusting and disturbing imagery, mature, disturbing thematic material, moral ambiguity, a constant feeling of relentless misery, dreary visuals, moody lighting, and an incredibly gloomy and depressing atmosphere.
This is a holiday movie?
Sure is.
All right.
Chris has buzzed in. Anybody else?
I have a thought, actually, a real one that isn't just a sassy comment, but I'm not going to say it because that's not what I do here. It's because I don't do that here.
I would really like if you answered one of these.
Hey, we're only at the beginning, man.
All right, Chris, what movie do you think this is?
My confidence is low, but I'm going to say Edward Scissorhands.
It is not Edward Scissorhands. For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, the setting of the city here is very grim, evil, and dark, unlike the previous adaptations.
Oh,
That should mean something, guys. Let's put our heads
Chris
together.
has buzzed in again, and so has
never
Mike.
mind. You guys go
Marty,
get it.
Sammy,
You guys
nothing?
go get it.
Oh,
No,
right.
I'm proud of these people.
Mike, what movie do you think this is?
Scrooged?
Chris, what movie do you think this is?
I was going to say Batman.
Is not Scrooged.
I hope it's Batman.
It is not Batman.
Aw. I tried.
Final clue under frightening and intense scenes for 1 point. During their meeting, one of the villains grabs one of the other villains' pet birds from its cage and puts it in her mouth. And he responds by holding an umbrella sword to the neck of one of her cats.
Isn't
That
has buzzed
traumatized
in.
me when I was little, but I can't think of the movie.
Just Mike?
I have emotions, but no answers.
Seen this, but I can't remember what it is.
Mike, can you remember what this movie is?
Batman Returns.
That's the Christmas Batman.
Yes.
I was
There's
gonna
a
say it's
Batman
definitely Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like bullshit, but
That
Batman
one
didn't count.
unambiguously is Christmas, I'd say.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
I think Chris
No.
should have gotten points for that one personally.
You
I had a
were, all,
completely
you were
different idea,
dancing
but-
around. That was 2 Tim Burton movies mentioned, including a Batman, but
Just kidding. I do want to be here. Just to clarify.
well, at the end of the 3rd round, Mike, you're still in first place with 9. Marty and Sammy tied in second with 0 each. Chris,
Hell
at
yeah.
-2.
What's up?
Sammy,
Yeah.
would you like a movie from 1990, 2000, or 2004?
2004, please.
2004. All right. From 2004, for 5 points under sex and nudity, one reference to a condom in a non-sexual context.
Hmm.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, in a party scene, high schoolers are seen holding red plastic cups. It's left unclear what's in them.
For real though, someone wrote that and you found it on the internet and you presented it to us, Nick. For real.
And it's enough to give Marty a guess. Does anybody else want to buzz in? Marty, do you know what this movie is?
I thought this was the first clue and I hesitated, but is it Mean Girls?
There's a scene where they dance in Santa outfits. This is Mean Girls.
Yes!
Mhm.
That's
Should have
dope.
gone with
All
my
right.
gut.
I'm happy. I'm happy again.
So what's
I
the
was-
condom scene?
She's like, you kids need anything? Some snacks, a condom? I've seen that movie many, many times.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
She's a cool
Gotcha.
mom. Yeah.
I thought it was on the first. Oh, I gotta listen to
It's
my
okay.
gut. Okay.
I'm still proud of
Get it.
you.
That was
Thank
great.
you. Gonna leave you in the dust. Let's go.
Other clues in Mean Girls under profanity, bitch is used moderately throughout, mostly said by teenage girls to other teenage girls. Sex and nudity, the outfits that the plastics are wearing can be revealing. And
There it is.
frightening and intense scenes, there is a lot of bullying.
There is.
Mike, you remain in first place at 9 points. Marty, you've jumped to second with 4. Sami at 0. Chris remains at -2. But Chris, it's back up to you. Would you like a movie from 1964, 1989, or 1990?
Let us do 1989.
Let's do 1989. From 1989 for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes, some supernatural scenes, whilst brief and infrequent, may scare young viewers.
Santa's a magic elf. I see that. I see it.
He sure is.
Unless it's not a Christmas movie, which it might not be. Maybe I'll just try to crack you for more hints based on your reactions. Maybe I'll change my whole game.
I am a very good actor.
I know, you're really good at this.
For 4 points under violence and gore, oh, I love this clue so much. I'm sorry. The imagery that comes up in one's mind during the explanation of the main antagonist's backstory and how he died previously could be considered too gruesome for some viewers. Again,
Wow.
the imagery
That's
that
an
comes up
assumption,
in
huh?
one's mind when hearing.
I'm gonna
Mike
see
is
this
buzzed
now.
in. Anybody else? What do you think this movie is, Mike?
Passion of the Christ.
This is not 1989's Passion of the Christ.
Oh.
Wow. I hope.
I count that as a holiday movie, but not one of the 3
Mm.
I mentioned.
I have carry on.
All right. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the entire plot of abducting a baby and possessing it could be a frightening thought for some viewers and parents to be.
$19.89.
I didn't
Yeah.
mean it. I didn't mean it.
All right. For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, at one point, the Statue of Liberty, with the main characters in it, steps on a police car. It is unclear if any policemen are in the car at the time, but it is very unlikely, as this would be accusing the protagonists of homicide. Marty and Mike have both buzzed in. Nothing, Chris or Sami?
No, I don't think I've seen this movie, but I feel like that, you know how I always say there's a clue that like should give it away? I think that was it, but I don't know it. So go team.
Okay, Chris, do you have a guess on this movie?
Ready to go in the hole, but Ghostbusters?
Marty, do you have a guess?
Ghostbusters 2.
Mike, what do you think?
Ghostbusters too.
Takes place on New Year's Eve. This is
Ah.
Ghostbusters 2.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I thought about the marshmallow dude and I was like, that's not the Statue of Liberty. So so I was kind of, thanks guys. Good job. Proud of you.
This baby. I gotta start listening to my gut because the clue before I was like,
You gotta go for it.
And I got to be more specific.
Yeah.
Their New Year's
Mike,
resolution.
You just keep doing what you're doing, Mike.
The next time you're gonna guess the sequel, it's gonna be the original.
You ruined my encouraging thing, but that's fine. You're the host.
Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, the appearances of some of the ghosts, such as the 3 severed head ghosts in the sewer, could be frightening for some viewers, especially for younger viewers. Mike, you are at 10 points. Marty, not far behind at 6. Sami at 0. Chris at -3. Marty, would you like a movie from 1989, 1994, or 2003?
I'm gonna go 2003.
2003. All right, from 2003, for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man is seen smoking while in prison.
Thank you.
Sounds like 2003.
4 points under frightening and intense scenes. A man feels heartbroken and depressed after another man shouts at him in a furious tone. This might be quite sad for most of the audience. Mike has buzzed in. Anybody else? What do you think this movie is, Mike?
At by a man.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Chris, what do you think this movie is?
I'm gonna guess Elf.
It is not Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang. Chris, you're back in the positives. This movie is Elf.
Hey.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Thank God for my Will
job.
Ferrell obsession.
Finally, an unambiguous holiday movie.
I was gonna guess
Didn't wanna
Elf
believe
too, but you dissuaded me. So thank
Other clues in Elf under sex and nudity. Main male character wears rather thin and sometimes revealing tights throughout the film. Frightening and intense scenes. There are 2 infamous scenes in which a man is shown eating a plate full of grotesque-looking spaghetti with candy and sugar covered on top. While not particularly frightening, it is still very gross and disturbing to watch. And under sex and nudity, Santa gives the main character advice about New York City and that a peep show isn't about seeing presents before Christmas. Mike's still in the lead at 9 points. Marty at 6. Chris jumped up to 3rd place with 1. Sami is here.
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome. Mike, would you like a movie from 1976, 2001, or 2008?
Let's go with 2001.
2001. All right. From 2001 for 5 points under profanity, 1 arse, and a few bloody hells. Some mild name calling.
That sounds like my last job.
Marty is going to take a guess. Anybody else?
Yeah, I like the confidence.
Marty going with their gut this time. What do you think this movie is?
The Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
You got 5 points on the board. This
Yes!
is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I just saw that on like a holiday movie list on one of the streaming things. And when Nick said it was going to be any movie that had Christmas in it, I was like, when's that going to come up? Crushed it. And I'm happy for you. I'm here for
Happy
positive
Christmas,
reinforcement.
Harry. Happy Christmas, Ron. Other clues in that, under violence and gore, a ghost pulls its own head off and shows guts. Violence and gore, a giant troll attacks a girl in a bathroom. Bathroom stalls are smashed with a giant club. The girl hides under a sink and the troll tries to hit her, but misses her and hits the sink. Violence and gore. A boy atop a large chess piece is shown violently hitting the floor, knocking him unconscious as another chess piece blasts the other one. In Violence and Gore, in a Quidditch match, a Slytherin player takes his team's beater's club and whacks a bludger at another player unaware of it, and he falls backwards on his broomstick behind a goal hoop, then falls to the ground.
Love it.
Happy Christmas.
I'm here for positive
Christmas.
reinforcement, not to actually succeed.
Marty, you've jumped to first place with 11
Yeah.
points.
Did
Mike,
not expect
right
that.
behind at 9. Chris at 1. Sammy at 0. Both in
There she
score
is.
and number of times buzzed in.
Thank
On this show,
thank
we
you.
call that a Lloyd Legacy show.
I'll get there, okay?
All right, let's see if this helps. You get to pick the movie. Would you
yeah,
like
I
a
do.
movie from 1994, 1999, or 2009?
94.
94. All right. 1994 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A man smokes cigarettes and drinks alcohol in several scenes. We see empty bottles of alcohol littered around his apartment. For 4 points under violence and gore, some fistfights occur throughout the movie that result in bloody noses, black eyes, and other minor injuries. One such fight ensues from a man's violent reaction to a woman getting slapped across the face and knocked to the ground. For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman sings seated with a guitar in a strip club. She's naked, her butt is visible. Mike has buzzed in. Anybody else? What do you think this movie is, Mike?
Forrest Gump.
Of course it's Forrest Gump. And I looked up and verified each of these movies before this, and I cannot remember the holiday scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Isn't there a New Year's thing when they do?
I'm going to take your word for it.
With Lieutenant
I think
Dan.
so.
I
Yeah.
hate this movie.
You've never used Forrest Gump before?
I have used Forrest Gump before. I
I
never
thought that
said
was a
that some of
thing.
these movies, that's the fun thing about this themed episode. It allows me to reuse some movies.
Wow. Sick, Nick. Just kidding. I'm so happy to be here.
Just brimming with gratitude.
I haven't said the thing yet, so I'm still winning.
You threatened to break your phone.
That was a joke. We're comedians.
Other clues in that, under sex and nudity, the protagonist shows the president his buttocks, male rear nudity. And
Yeah.
frightening and intense scene is a war scene in Vietnam is quite violent and has gunfire, explosions, and shouting. Mike, you've moved back into the lead with 12 points. Marty right behind at 11. Chris at 1. Sammy at 0. Really hoping Sammy buzzes in at some point.
I wish you would stop saying that. It's implied that I should buzz in, Nick, okay?
I really would like to see that happen.
There's no
Okay,
pressure.
all right, okay,
We've got one more go around, 4 movies left, one more for each of you.
About to get 20 points, LOL.
Chris, would you like a movie from 1964, 1978, or 1984?
Let's go with the 60s one.
64?
64.
All right. From 1964, for 5 points under violence and gore, A character was thought to be dead in one scene, but is found to be alive a little later. There's no blood at all. Mike has a guess. Does anybody else? Sami has buzzed in. Chris has buzzed in. Marty has a cat.
Yeah.
Chris, what movie do you think this is?
Might be wrong decade, but I'm thinking Frosty the Snowman.
Sami,
Animated.
what do you think?
That's really different from what I thought. Jesus Christ Superstar. I
Mike, what do you
panicked.
think?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's not Frosty. It is not Jesus Christ Superstar.
Well,
Mike, you got your third one of the game.
Yes.
This is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Who didn't die?
I think it's Cornelius, the mountain climber guy. There's like a whole thing that happens in that movie that's not in the song, and you just don't even think about it as being the same movie. It's like
Most
Lord
of the
of the Rings.
stuff that happens in that movie isn't in the song. The song's 2 minutes.
I do love the really spicy take on Christianity of Jesus Christ Superstar as the answer to people thought he was dead and then he wasn't. Like, that is some spicy heresy, and I love it.
I thought it was a prank question, and I was like, I'm gonna come in with one of the ones that's not Christmassy, and then Chris answered, and I was like, I'm dumb, and this is why I don't raise my hand.
Also an Easter movie.
Yeah, much like the other one that was guessed tonight. I didn't
For a similar clue.
Different holiday.
I'm still happy to
love
be
that,
here.
though.
Other clues in this, under frightening and intense scenes, the intro features various live-action newsreel clips that depict people in cars being stranded in a fierce snowstorm. The music is loud and dramatic, and the snow sound effects are intense, but not frightening at all. Violence and gore, although it is not shown, one character is captured and has his teeth removed by another character, presumably by force.
Wait.
It's been a long time since I've watched this movie, apparently.
It's a there's a big dentist undertone.
Oh man.
It's very much an overtone.
It
is.
There's a whole song. Yeah.
Oh.
Frightening and intense scenes. 2 scenes that feature a glimpse of the abominable snowman may frighten kids younger than 6. And sex and nudity. Some mild flirting between 2 young reindeer.
I love these people.
Yeah, I would like to meet that last person.
Right. I want you guys to know that someone in your family might be worried about clay reindeers flirting. Just in case.
Adolescent clay reindeer. flirting.
Yes.
Mike,
I'd say
you
they're
extended
downplaying it.
your lead to 17 points. Marty can still catch up at 11. Chris at 0. Sami at -1.
Oh yeah. Like the weather when it snows. Bitches.
I'm in Minnesota. That's what we hit today.
Oh no.
Heads up, y'all get the weather like a week after we do, so sorry in advance. But I'll be there with you.
Awesome. You're bringing it with you.
You're welcome.
Marty, it's also your turn to pick. Would you like a movie from 1996, 2000, or 2002?
It's a lot of pressure. I'm gonna go 2002.
2002. All right. From 2002 for 5 points, under profanity. A man dumps a tray of fries, chips in other English-speaking countries, in front of another man at the food court and form the words, "Bite me." Again, if you're not American, they're talking about chips. For 4 points under violence and gore, an old man is zapped with a lightning bolt. You see his skeleton in a classic cartoon fashion. For
I'm
3
having
points
trouble.
under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the main character is a mean drunk. He's frequently seen guzzling the poisonous stuff and acting out as a result. He also jokes about using a woman's trombone as a bong. A bus driver muses about hippy-dippy mushroom flashbacks. One song has a line about being on crack.
Song. Shit.
Song, yeah, that
Mike
threw
has
me.
buzzed in.
I
Mike has not buzzed in, and Chris
Everybody's
has not buzzed
buzzed
in.
out.
That last one threw everybody. All right, for 2 points under sex and nudity. When store logos and overstuffed couches come to life at the mall in the main character's imagination, an oversexed bottle of GNC vitamins makes ribald remarks about an animated Victoria's Secret negligee.
Whatever this movie is messed up. But it sounds so familiar, right?
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
Oh,
that
God.
song,
I don't like the joy you're taking in this. Just kidding. I really love it.
so
I'm
it's like a
happy to-
sexy mall version of Night at the Museum, is what you're saying.
In the
Yeah.
character's,
The worst of all worlds.
in the character's
Wait.
imagination, final clue for 1 point under frightening and intense scenes. The main character's home is set on fire by an
I knew it.
arsonist. He then rushes inside to rescue his Hanukkah card. Sammy has buzzed in. Anybody else?
How to get back to 0.
For one of the
How'd you get
first
back to
times,
zero?
Sammy, are you
How'd
the
you get
only
back?
one who knows what this movie is?
For one of the first times. Why you gotta be like that? Is it 8 Crazy Nights?
This movie is 8 Crazy
Hell
Nights.
yeah. Did you hear that, Steven? He didn't. I have headphones in.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a whole bunch of
Wow.
songs in that movie.
There are.
We've got 2 movies left. Mike, you remain in first place with 17. Marty, you're still in this at 11. Chris and Sammy, you are tied in last place with 0 each.
Listen, I started at the bottom and now I'm here. So
Mike, you get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from 1972, 1986, or 1992?
1992.
1992. All right. Penultimate movie from 1992. For 5 points under profanity, a boy says, quote, "Enough of this goofy shh," before hastily changing track and finishing with show of emotion. Mike has buzzed in, maybe to clinch this game. Mike, what movie do you think this is? Wait, hold on. Chris, what movie do you think this is?
I'm gonna say Home Alone.
Mike, what movie do you think this is?
It is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Wow.
I'm so sorry, Chris.
Can someone please give me specificity for Christmas? I'm begging.
This movie is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
That is the
Oh.
funniest thing.
Chris, I really feel for you. This is your first time here. It's not right, but this is.
I don't mean to laugh at your expense, but this is hilarious. It's just like
Oh.
Other clues in Home Alone 2, frightening and intense scenes. There appears to be a skeletal view of a robber being electrocuted. switching between human view and skeletal view, which again is not a word, can be quite frightening for kids and still a harsh scene for a family movie. Violence and gore, the bad guys get other traps done on them. Staple guns, paint cans, tool chests, tools, etc. And frightening and intense scenes. The main character can be seen wandering alone in Central Park at night and scaring people, bullying him, and the taxi driver even scaring him.
There's nothing about all the birds. There's nothing about being consumed in pigeons.
I guess not.
I mean, she was a bad bitch, but I still, if you're gonna put a warning, I would put that one. Just me. Maybe I'll start adding my own warnings so that when I'm on the show, I'll be like, I recognize that one.
Just planting some Eastern Sammy. We just watched Home Alone for the last day of program before school break, and the unfortunate thing about working in after school is if you watch a movie, you know you're not going to finish it because you're just not going to have enough time. And it took us a while to get the movie started, so we ended it like maybe 2 minutes into like the scene with all the pranks. So like you missed like everything good about that movie. And it ended on the note of this poor little boy being under siege by 2 robbers. Like,
and then these robbers killed him. Credits. Well, Mike, you've clinched this game. We still have one movie left, but you are at 22 points. Marty, you are at 11. Chris and Sammy at 0 each.
Hell yeah.
I am sorry. This is embarrassing. Sammy at 0, Chris at -1.
Yeah.
Oh. Hell yeah.
I will say the high score on this game is 26.
Oh,
Mike, you can get that if you get this 5-point clue.
I'm rooting for you.
Wait, Mike's at 21?
He is at 22.
22, didn't that beat his stat that you put earlier?
Yeah. It's his high score unless he gets one wrong.
My high nope, we're not. Good for you.
Sammy, you get to pick the last movie.
Okay.
Would you like a movie from 1964, 1990, or 2000?
I will go with 2000, please.
2000. All right. Final movie of the night. From 2000, for 5 points under sex and nudity, 1 hour, 23 minutes is the last sexual scene in the movie.
I hate it here.
There we go.
What? The last one? What kind of I don't like it.
The last one.
Okay.
In 2000?
I really, in my brain, was like, I'm not going to say I hate it here. I haven't had a moment. And then you just released that. Okay. I don't hate it here. I love it here. Carry on.
All right. We will move on to the 4-point clue. Mike, you can still tie the high score. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a man is seen in a tanning bed. His pubic hair is visible briefly from the side, so it's hard to make out, and no genitals are seen.
That's nice.
Glad I didn't go with my gut this time because it was definitely wrong.
For 3 points under violence and gore. The violence in the movie definitely has a comedic tone. While bloody, it shouldn't disturb or upset most viewers.
I love that. Love that energy.
For 2 points under frightening and intense scenes. Well, the movie is pretty graphic. It's definitely not as graphic as the novel. The film leaves out some graphic scenes from the book, like the rat scene. Mike has buzzed in. Anybody else? All right. Mike, do you know what this movie is? Wait, hold on. Sammy, Sammy, what do you think this movie is?
No, wait. I am. Is it The Witches?
Mike, what do you think this is?
Sin City?
It is not The Witches.
Okay.
It is
That's
also
fine.
not Sin City.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. Final clue in the final movie for 1 point under violence and gore. A man is killed with an axe. He is kept off camera as he is repeatedly struck. Blood sprays onto the killer's face. Blood is quickly seen pooling from the body for a moment. In a close-up, no wounds visible. And his face in a pool of blood from a distance. When his covered body is being dragged out, it leaves a bloody trail. Marty has buzzed in. Mike has buzzed in. Chris has buzzed in. Sammy, do you want to get in?
I don't, because I don't know this movie.
All right. Chris, what movie do you think this is?
I'm gonna go with Scary Movie.
Marty, what do you think this is?
Is it American Psycho?
Mike, what do you think this movie is?
American Psycho.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
You're a little late on raising your hand.
Oh darn, my bad.
Yeah.
This movie has a Christmas party in it. This is American Psycho.
Nice.
So
That's
mad
good.
right now.
You know what? I honestly am at peace because those were good clues for this movie, I think.
I'm glad. Even the first clue?
Is that the one I said I didn't like
Sex
to be
scene?
here?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
1 hour, 23 minutes is the last sexual scene in the movie.
You know, I forgot. Now I've put myself in a pickle on the internet. So good job, gang.
Well, that was American Psycho. This was Inappropriate Movie Database Holiday Edition. Our final scores for the night. Chris at -2, Sammy at -1,
Go team.
Marty at 12, Mike running away yet again with his high score of 22, making Mike the winner of the night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike, you are tearing through this game. Before we go, this was so fun. If there is anything you have to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words, Marty, I'll start with you.
Sure. I am in the Twin Cities. I've been writing my Christmas cards, and every single time I've been on here, I have said to come find me because I want more friends. I've discovered I have too many friends, so I'm closing the market on that.
That is the power of this show.
Yes.
But if you want to watch me bake things and sometimes have a mental breakdown, you can go to madeby.marty on Instagram. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's not.
Sammy,
Yes. My turn.
do you
I
have
get
anything?
it. No, not really.
No?
I mean, just message me if you want to chat about weird stuff. I really do love it here, Nick. I promise. And go to
I love having you here.
and go to Root Beer Circus is my band with my husband. We do skits, bedtime reviews, a bunch of absolute nonsense. So Root Beer Circus is all I have to plug. Babe, I did real bad.
Chris, do you have anything?
I have nothing to plug. Glad to be here. Yeah, do not confuse molasses for hot chocolate. That's my holiday advice.
I like
That
that.
is just real
That's
good
important.
advice.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't make
it-
that mistake more than a couple of times.
I mean, yeah, no. And Marmite as well. You make that once.
Oh no.
Happy holidays. Thanks for having me, Nick.
Who wants a hot Marmite?
They make Marmite beer.
That doesn't sound as bad. Isn't it just
Whoa.
like yeast?
Yeah. Yeah,
Isn't it-
That's what half of beer is.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking hot Marmite. It's just replaying in my head.
Marshmallows.
That would be a good band name.
That'd be a great.
Marshmite mellows. And finally, Mike.
You can find me on Twitter at Air Giordano. And other than that, I'll be kind of just holed up in my house watching Christmas movies and reading every review on IMDb so I can study for the next episode. So I'll be ready.
Well, thank you all again. Once again, my guests were Chris Sherlin, Sami Lanza, Mike Giordano, Marty Viscosi. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. You can find the show on Facebook. Look for the group Inappropriate Movie Database. That's where I book this show for the most part. So if you're watching this and you've been on the show before or you've never been on the show, I love having new guests on the show. We've got a few more episodes left this year and a few spots left on those episodes. So if you're interested, please reach out to me either there or anywhere else. If you're not on Facebook and a better person than me, reach out to me anywhere. We have another holiday edition of this show on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, the 23rd, right before Christmas. Shout out to Scott Sandler. I've seen him in the chat of this stream. He's going to be on that show. He's great. It's going to be great. I think Lloyd Legacy Shark might be on that show too. It's going to be a good one. And stick around because I'm going to start booking January shows soon. And you heard it here first. Every episode in January is going to be a themed episode because I want to get some different movies in here, and I want to reuse some movies. I have over 500 movies in this game, and I've used almost all of them. So I got to keep it going.
I support
if you
that.
like what you saw here, we've got, like I said, this is episode 48. We got 47 other episodes. Most of them are pretty good. Look for any of these people in one of those episodes. They're always fun.
Hit us up, Nick.
Like, subscribe, do whatever YouTubers tell you to do. And please come back on Thursday and watch that episode. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.